Italy is heading towards parliamentary elections on 25th September, 6 months before the original end of the current legislative term. But how did we get here, and what are the most likely political scenarios? Let's take a deep dive into one of Europe's most complicated countries and the EU's third largest economy. Italy is well known for its political instability. Since it became a republic in 1946, Italy has gone through 69 governments. The last legislative term alone has seen 3 governments with different majorities. The Conte I with a 5-star movement Lega Nord coalition, the Conte II with a 5-star Democratic Party coalition, and the Draghi government, supported by all major parties except the far-right Brothers of Italy. The political crisis was triggered in July by former Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte, who is now heading the 5-star movement. The movement was the largest political party in the latest parliamentary elections, but now ranks 4th in the polls. The final act of Mario Draghi's government was marked by a vote of confidence in the Senate where, technically, the former central banker still had a majority. Politically, though, the situation was no longer sustainable, since not only the 5-star movement, but also Lega and Forza Italia abstained. The center-right took advantage of the situation, as it will likely win the next elections, according to surveys. But how does it work? Italy's current electoral law mixes majoritarian and proportional elements. 37% of the seats are assigned via the first-past-the-post system of single-member districts. The rest of the seats are assigned proportionally to the list that passed the electoral threshold. The idea is to favor the formation of electoral coalitions, one of which would be able to secure a comfortable parliamentary majority. All the electoral polls indicate that the center-right coalition will win. The question is by how much? The polls currently see the center-right close to 50% of voting intentions, whereas the center-left coalition led by the Democratic Party is around 30%. The 5-star movement polls at around 11%, and the centrist party Azione at around 5%. In the most favorable scenario, the Conservative coalition could win a 2/3 majority. This is a critical threshold, as it would allow the center-right parties to change the constitution and elect the president of the republic on their own. But what's inside the center-right coalition? Let's take a closer look at its 3 parties. Brothers of Italy is currently ranking 1st, and its leader, Giorgia Meloni, is likely to be Italy's first female prime minister. Only a few months ago, Lega Nord was the strongest Italian party for voting intention, but it has now been relegated to the role of junior partner. Still, Lega's leader, Matteo Salvini, will continue to compete with Giorgia Meloni for the leadership of the center-right, which is likely to be a major instability factor for the future government. Last but not least, Silvio Berlusconi's Forza Italia is, after almost 30 years, still present in Italian politics, although just a shadow of its former glory. What will be the consequences of the new government? Many observers have raised concerns about Brothers of Italy post-fascist legacy and Salvini's past flirting with Russian leader Vladimir Putin. However, Meloni has condemned the Russian attack on Ukraine since it started and is now trying to reassure the EU and NATO that Italy won't change its international position. We can expect Rome's conservative turn to impact migration and social rights. However, on the economic side, the new government will have very little maneuvering room due to the energy crisis, the commitments of the recovery plan, and the burdens on public debt. In other words, the center-right coalition will have its work cut out.